In this lecture, we'll see what is the common Metasploit workflow. The first step is to discover the target and the vulnerable services that are running. There are lots of vulnerability scanners, but most of the time Nmap is the tool of choice. From Kali Linux, as root, I'm scanning the exploitable VM using Nmap and the -A option, which enables OS and version detection, script scanning, and traceroute. Nmap is scanning Metasploitable. And there are many vulnerabilities because this VM was especially designed for penetration and exploitation testing. In a real case scenario, hackers will do the same. They will scan for vulnerabilities, and if there are any, they will try to exploit those vulnerabilities. Let's take a look at this one. On port 6667, IRCD is listening. A hacker would search for exploits for that service and version on Google or on specific forums. And the first result takes us to the Rapid7 website, and we can see that there's a backdoor command execution available for that service. This version contains a backdoor that went unnoticed for months. By the way, Rapid7 is the company that develops Metasploit. And if we scroll down, we notice that there's also a Metasploit module that exploits the vulnerability. They even show us how to use it. Let's return to Kali and start Metasploit. I'm running MSF cancel. Once it has started, I'm searching for IRCD. So search IRCD. And there's one module available. To find more information about it, execute info and its name with the full path. So info, exploit, Unix, IRC, Unreal, IRCD, backdoor. To select a specific module, type use and the full path to the module. And if you want to go back or to exit the module, execute back. The next step is to see what are the options of the module. Show options. Our host comes from remote host and is the target IP address. I'm setting it. Set our host and the target's IP address 10.0.2.7, the IP address of Metasploitable. Next, we'll have to select a payload. A payload is a piece of code to be executed through the exploit. It's in fact what to do after the target is exploited. To see all compatible payloads for this exploit, run show payloads. Most of the time, a hacker would like to get a shell to the hacked machine so that he can further install malware, run other commands, or consolidate his position on the machine or on the network. I'm setting a reverse shell as payload. So set payload and the path to the payload. Payload, CMD, Unix, reverse. This one. After setting the payload, you can further check what are the payload's available options. I'm running show options again. And there are two options for the payload: lhost and lport. Lhost is the local listening address, and I'm setting it to the IP address of Metasploit. So set lhost and the IP address of Metasploit. Let's see its IP address again. Remember that you can run shell commands directly in MSF console. And I'm running the exploit. The exploit is running and the machine was hacked. I'm logged in as root and I can execute any command in a reverse shell. A session was opened. I'm on Metasploitable, on the hacked machine. Take a look here. This is the IP address of Metasploitable. The command was run on the hacked machine. On this machine. I'm logged in as root. Now, we are in the phase of the attack called post-exploitation. It refers to any action taken after a session is opened. A session is an open shell from successful exploitation, like in this case. After successfully hacking the target, the attacker will be asking himself what to do next. In general, he wants to gain further access to the target's internal network or to cover his tracks as he progresses from system to system. Or maybe he wants to set up a backdoor to maintain more permanent system access. In this example, if the victim machine is restarted, the access will be lost. Of course, the hacker could run the exploit again, but the admin could patch or uninstall the vulnerable service. So, utilizing these techniques will ensure that some level of access is maintained, and that's why post-exploitation is so important. Okay, thank you, that's all.